Hi, I'm Randi Dukes with Repeat Realty. I'm a realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. And this month's market update is going to be a little bit different. Rather than letting your eyes glaze over with all of the numbers, I'm going to tell you what we're really seeing here in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. I heard somebody say this week that headlines terrify more than they clarify, and I think that couldn't be more true. So let's try to clarify some of what we're hearing. Are we still seeing multiple offers? The short answer is yes. However, NAR, the National Association of Realtors, just released a statistic that said nationwide in July, there was an average of 2.8 offers on each house. So that's amazing news because in the springtime, I was writing offers where we were one of 90. It's definitely calmed down, making it a more manageable market for buyers. Where we're seeing those multiple offers tends to be at those lower price points. Really anything $350 and under, you're still running the risk of a multiple offer situation. That's tricky because that price point is typically where our first-time home buyers are trying to enter the market, but we can still be strategic and help them write terms that get the deal done. The good news is we're just not seeing the same level of competition at the higher price points. How about those mortgage rates? I looked this morning and we have crept a little over 7, which is terrible news for anybody that's been in the market the last few years and has seen those low interest rates. And nobody cares that your grandpa had a 14% interest rate, right? So what can we do to combat that? Well, again, the headlines are making it seem a little worse than it is. I looked at a chart this morning comparing mortgage payments from a few months ago on a purchase with low interest rates to a mortgage payment right now with high interest rates, and the mortgage payment right now was actually lower. So how is that possible? Well, there are a couple of things that factor into that. One, buyers right now are not paying $50,000 over on a house. So the sales price is automatically lower, which creates a lower interest rate. We also aren't having to combat all of those competitive terms, which means a couple of months ago, buyers were paying all kinds of typical seller closing costs, and that's not happening on most houses right now. So you're saving money there. And then the third thing is that there's a buy down option with lenders. So this means you put a little bit of money forward and you buy down your interest rate, saving you money over time. Now I know what you're thinking, that's more money out of pocket. However, in this comparison again of how much money you're bringing out of pocket, it was still lower than what we were seeing a few months ago. So the key to all of this is a conversation with your lender. And I'm referring all of my buyers to my lender partners to give them all of the scenarios and the best fit for them. There are ways to get around what's happening right now. Housing prices are crashing. We've all seen it. I think I see it every single day. And they're just not. Here in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex, housing prices aren't crashing. We are not seeing any depreciation. We're just seeing less appreciation. And that's because we're not seeing the same multiple offer situations. So we're still pricing houses very similarly to what we were pricing in the springtime. We're just not seeing multiple offers that are driving that up. The national average appreciation rate is 3.8%, and we were seeing about 20%. It's just not realistic and sustainable, and all we're seeing is that rates may come back down to a more standard appreciation rate. However, they haven't yet. So how is this different than the housing crisis of 2007, 2008? Well, it's entirely different. One factor is unemployment rates are really low, and we rebounded so quickly after the pandemic, which means homeowners have money to pay their mortgage. Another factor is lenders are still operating under very tight controls, which means we have much better qualified borrowers. That's one of the reasons the foreclosure activity is also remaining low during this time. We keep hearing that inventory is low, and it is. It's still low. We have seen an increase in it, but we're still not seeing enough of an increase to combat the problem. And the question is, why are we seeing this? There are a lot of factors that play into it, but one that makes a lot of sense is that millennials, which is the largest demographic after baby boomers, just hit their peak home buying years. 43% of home buyers right now are millennials. So we just need more inventory to keep up with that. So what does this mean right now? It's still a great market for sellers. I've been saying this for months and it still holds true. Sellers think it's not as good of a market because they're not getting multiple offers and their houses typically aren't selling in 1 to 3 days, but it's still an amazing market. Housing prices are great, time on market is still really low, and it's just a good time to sell. On the buyer side, despite high interest rates, it's also a better market because you're not having to come in with all of those crazy competitive terms that you were needing months ago. So there are strategies on both sides, whether you're buying or selling, and I would love to chat with you about both. Give me a call. My contact information is below, and you can call, text, or email, and let's chat about your strategy in this market.